Hi there, and welcome to my series of classroom hints. Today's session is on a little technique about how to remember a list of 10 items. Now, this is a simple technique that can be used over and over again with lists of unrelated items, and the more that you use this technique, the better you will become at using it and remembering it, and remember the different lists. Now, the technique uses the powerful memory aid of word association. So quite often, this sort of technique has been used over the years, and one familiar word can try and have a connection with another word that may give you a little bit of an aid in getting into that new memory technique. So firstly, we need to acquire the scaffolding on which to hang the words or the terms that need to be memorised. So let's commence with a framework that's designed to remember 10 items, but as you'll see later in this presentation, we can build it to 20 or 30 or whatever you wish. Now, everyone can count from 1 to 10, it's easy, and so now let's create the scaffolding, or if you like, the coat hanger on which to hang the word association of this memory technique. Now, firstly, the number 1 rhymes with sun. So for our first little bit of scaffolding, or first bit of our coat hanger, so let's imagine a large yellow sun, either high in the sky or at sunrise or sunset. One that is yours. Make it yours. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be something just what you imagine. The sun, your favourite image of the sun might be a sunrise or a sunset, or a beautiful sun up and high in the sky with a blue background, no clouds. So whatever is your sun, just you need to burn that one in your memory, and so we can use it later as part of our scaffolding. So it's 1 sun. 2 rhymes with shoe. So you imagine any old shoe. I'll just put an image here, but it could be a dirty old workman's shoe, or a new shoe, or one of your own shoes that you need. So you need an image of a shoe, whether it's, as I said, a workman's shoe, or high heels, or whatever. A new shoe, old shoe. So 2 rhymes with shoe. So that's your second piece of scaffolding. 2 shoe. Number 3 rhymes with tree, so imagine your favourite tree. I've just put an image here. So it could be an old dead tree, it could be a tree that's native to your particular country, it could be a tree that you remember out of a book kid's book that you read years ago, or just some image that was lying around. So 3 tree, make it yours. It doesn't have to be this one, as I said, but it's something, when you think of tree, this is your image. 4 rhymes with door. So your typical door, it could be an old door, a new door, a wood one or a metal one, doesn't matter. So whenever someone mentions the word door, this is the image that comes to your mind. It could be the front door of your house, or where you work, or wherever. So 4 rhymes with door. 5 rhymes with hive. So imagine a typical beehive, or it could be a cartoon one like we have here, or it could be a modern commercial one like we see here. So 5 rhymes with hive. So this is our 5th piece of scaffolding on which we're going to use to help us remember the 10 items. 6 rhymes with sticks. So imagine your typical pile of sticks. So your typical pile of sticks may be a bundle like this that's been tied together. It may be just sticks spread on the ground in a random manner. It doesn't matter. So whatever you think of, whenever you hear the word sticks, whatever you think of, that's your image that you need to use over and over again. 7 rhymes with heaven. So you can imagine your typical heaven, maybe with sun streaking through the clouds, or an angel, or whatever. So whatever you think of, whenever you hear the word 7, that rhymes with heaven. So whatever is your image of heaven, whether it's something down here or something up there, or whatever it is, that's the image that you need to retain as your 7th piece of scaffolding. 8 rhymes with gate. So you imagine your typical gate. So it could be an old metal gate like this, or a more modern one. It may not be a metal gate. It may be a wooden one. It might be falling apart or whatever. So whenever you think of 8, rhymes with gate. So whatever image you have when you think of gate is the one that you need to retain. Just trying to get the next slide up here. So 9 rhymes with time. So you imagine with time, I've just imagined a clock. I've just picked on what's typical. It might be a big clock at a railway station, but it could be one at home or in your grandparents' place that you've seen since you were a little kid. So 9 rhymes with time. So according to time. Now you might have another image. You may not use a clock face like what I've used here. Could be, like I said, could be an old or new, but whatever time, whatever image you have at the time. So 9 rhymes with time, so you need to have an image of time. 10 rhymes with hen, so I've just put an image of the hen here. So imagine your typical hen, maybe on a nest, maybe foraging like this one. So 10 rhymes with hen. So now we've established our scaffolding or our coat hanger. So let's go through them again. So 1, sun, so your typical sun. 2, shoe, your typical shoe, or image of your typical shoe. 3, tree, your favourite tree. 4, door, whatever door is your image. 5, hive, as I said, old or new or cartoon. 6, sticks. 7, heaven. 8, gate. 9, time, and 10, hen. So now that we've got the scaffolding set up, and the scaffolding 1 to 10 is fairly easy because they're all rhyming words. When we go beyond 10 it becomes a little bit more difficult, but they don't all have to rhyme, they just have to be ones that you're very familiar with. So let's see how to use this technique, or how the technique works. So let's imagine we have a shopping list, 10 items that we need to remember. So you say to someone, oh no, I don't need to write that down. I've got a technique, I can remember these 10 items. So let's have a look. So here's the shopping list. We'll go butter, eggs, bread, milk, strawberry jam, bananas, orange juice, tomato sauce, oranges, and apples. So now we're going to pick on these one at a time and try and burn them into our memory using the scaffolding that we just created before. So let's have a look at the first one. So creating an association between the number and the image. So 1 rhymes with sun. So the first item on the shopping list is butter. So what I would do is I would imagine the fierce heat of the sun melting a cube of butter as it sat on a dish outside in the sun. So I just wouldn't create a static or stationary image. I'd try and put a little bit of movement or action into the connection here. So while I've got a little cube of butter sitting on a dish out in the sun, and so what I would imagine is the butter is starting to run and the cube is actually melting away. So I'm trying to create a second dimension in this little memory connection. So 1, sun, butter is the first item on the shopping list, and the sun is melting the butter, and not as melting the butter, but I'm trying to see in my mind's eye like a little lava flow of butter, streaming down the plate. 2 rhymes with shoe. The second item on the list with eggs. So how would I use this connection? I would imagine a number of eggs inside the shoe, and even maybe overflowing. So whether it was an old worksman's shoe or a gym shoe or high heel shoes, I'm imagining the eggs piled up inside the shoe. Now to try and add a second dimension, to add a strong image or connection to the picture, I may imagine that the top egg is broken and the white of the yolk is actually spilling out down over the shoe, just to create a little bit of extra movement in the word association connection. 3 rhymes with tree. Now the third item on the shopping list is bread. So I would imagine many loaves of bread hanging from the lower branches of the tree, just like you'd see fruit, maybe oranges or lemons or mandarins hanging from the tree. Instead of the fruit hanging from your favourite tree, I would imagine the loaves of bread. Now again, to try and make a bit of a strong connection, I'd probably try and imagine there's white bread, brown bread, you know, both colours, wholemeal, just to add that multigrain, just to add that little bit of extra dimension or connection in your head. I mean, you might even imagine that one of the loaves of bread is split open, some of these slices are spilling onto the ground, just to try and put a bit of movement or extra connection on tree and the loaves of bread hanging from the lower branches. 4 rhymes with door, so the 4th item on the shopping list is milk. So I would imagine milk splashed all over my typical or favourite door. So I would imagine that someone's just got a bucket of milk or a container of milk and just thrown it all over my favourite door. And to try and add a connection or movement to this image, I would imagine that the milk is dripping down the door, dripping down my favourite typical door, and maybe pooling at the bottom of the door, just to add that extra little dimension in the word association connection. 5 rhymes with hive. Now the 5th item on the list is strawberry jam. So I would imagine strawberries, blocking the entry to the beehive, plus strawberry jam maybe being poured over the top of the hive and slowly flowing down the side of the hive. And possibly that might be, instead of strawberries, what I should have said there was probably imagine a few spoonfuls of strawberry jam blocking the entry to the beehive, plus strawberry jam flowing down the sides, because the 5th item on the list is not strawberries, it's actually strawberry jam. So I made a little bit of a mistake there. It should have been strawberry, a few spoonfuls of strawberry jam blocking the entry, as well as strawberry jam flowing down over the side. The 6th item on the 6th item is rhymes with sticks, and the 6th item on the shopping list is bananas. So I would imagine a banana stuck on both ends of as many sticks as possible. So if your pile of sticks was one that's tied up, I'd imagine bananas just impaled on this end as well as that end and just lying on the ground, or if your sticks are just spread randomly, I'd imagine bananas impaled on both ends. So maybe to add a little bit of movement to this, and I haven't put this in here, maybe to add a little bit of movement there, you could think of some of the banana skins that are split open, and the banana might even be starting to go brown, just to add a little second dimension there with the image. 7th item, so 7 rhymes with heaven. So the 7th item on the shopping list is orange juice. So I would imagine orange juice falling out of my heavenly sky, where I would normally see rays of sunlight. So I might even imagine, to add another dimension, that this orange juice, instead of rain, the orange juice is falling down instead of the sunlight or rain, falling onto the ground, and rivers of orange juice actually flowing down the hillsides or mountains. So we've got, instead of sunlight or rain, we've got orange juice coming down with the colour of orange juice, and maybe flows of orange juice flowing down the little gullies and the creeks of the mountain. 8th item on the 8th rhymes with gate, and the 8th item is tomato sauce. So I would imagine red tomato sauce thrown all over my typical gate, and then dripping down, leaving red streaks. So again, to add another little dimension here, I might imagine that the tomato sauce, there was so much of it thrown onto my typical gate that it's actually running down and pooling down the bottom of the gate. So 8 rhymes with the gate, and the gate has had all this tomato sauce, so you see a vivid red, streaks of red coming down, and the tomato sauce pooling at the bottom of the gate. 9 rhymes with time. Now the 9th item on the list is oranges. So I would imagine oranges being stuck on each of the hour and minute and second hands of that large clock. So my typical clock was that big railway clock. There's still the old analog clock that had hands for hours, minutes and seconds. So I would imagine an orange impaled on each one of those. Now maybe to add a little bit of movement there, I might imagine some orange juice streaming down over the white face of the clock and just staining it. The 10 rhymes with hen. Now the 10th item on the list was apples. So this is easy, so I'd imagine a hen sitting on a pile of apples instead of eggs, and there were so many apples there that a couple of the apples were showing through, so the hen couldn't quite cover all the apples, and you can easily see that the hen is sitting on apples and not eggs. And again, if you want to create some movement there, you can imagine one of the apples has rolled out of the nest and just sitting next to it and maybe rolling away, just to add another dimension in the word association connection. So let's sum up. So firstly, we created some scaffolding, word association with numbers. There was 1 sun, 2 shoe, 3 tree, etc., right up to 10. Secondly, we made a list. Now the list that we did was a shopping list, but the list could easily be a list to do with geography or biology or science or maths or whatever subject it is. Now you won't get mixed up because each list has a theme. It could be either a science theme or a geography theme or an English theme, and as I said, the more you use this technique, the better you get at it. So made a list of 10 items. Now thirdly, we burned an image in our memory of each item in association with the scaffolding. 3 tree, and we imagined all the loaves of bread hanging from the tree. Now, you will amaze your friends, so you could ask your friends to test you on this little technique. You don't need to tell them about it. So they can test you, they can make up a little list on the spot. Ask them to just read out their list fairly slowly. They'll probably have to write it down because they won't remember them all in order, but you will. Ask them to read the list out slowly, burn the images into your memory, and then you can proceed to repeat the list in order. I mean, you could even say, well, I can tell you what the 3rd item on the list was, or the 9th item, so you just need to go through the association, 7 heaven, whatever it was, 6 sticks, and the image is there for you. So it's a good little technique to use. You can use it a little bit of fun on the train or the bus, or sitting around morning tea or lunch or whatever, and or even in social gatherings. It's a good little memory test, a good little trick. Now, you can extend this scaffolding. I said earlier that we're just doing this for 10 items, but you can extend it to 20 or 30, and I've known people who have done that. But it's a little bit harder. Once you go past 10, it's a bit harder to find words that rhyme, that readily come to your memory. But they don't have to rhyme. So just for example, 11 Kevin, 12 shell, 13 green bean, 14 garden scene. But as I said, it doesn't have to rhyme. All you need to do is, with the scaffolding, read over it so many times so that it becomes quite simple to you. I mean, if someone said to you, look, I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to give you a list of 26 letters, and I want you to repeat them back to me in order, you go, oh my goodness, I'll never be able to do that. Then they go A, B, C, D, E, etc. A, B, C, D, E, right up to Z or Z doesn't mean anything. It's just that we've said it so often that we don't stumble over it. In fact, when people say, hey, that's easy, it's as easy as your ABCs. But they weren't easy in the first place. It required a lot of repetition, using the fact that we've got partially photographic memory and the brain learns things slowly. So you can extend that through to 20 or 30 items. You just need a little bit of work on it. Look, I have a saying that I use with students, and when I speak to students, I'd like to remind them that they need to show a little determination or direction in their lives. And I say to them, look, don't be like a jellyfish. Poor old jellyfish, their destiny is determined by the wind or the tide. They've got no influence as to where they end up. I ask students to look, show a little bit of backbone or spine. Be the architect of your own destiny. So quite often my little saying is, listen mate, I'm going to have to ask you to stop jellyfishing around. So all I'm saying is, stop being a victim of influences, outside influences, grow a spine, get some backbone, take your destiny, be the architect of your own destiny. And that's just a little image that one of my students made on stage. Look, I hope this has been some help to you. If it has, you might like to visit my website. My website's called Mr D's Classroom Hints. I've written a book, about 200-page book on study skills, memory tricks, time management, all sorts of things. The name of the textbook, the name of the book is, it's not a textbook, the name of the book is Mr D's Classroom Hints. The name of the website is also Mr D's Classroom Hints. The actual website address is www.thedickmans.com. So www.thedickmans.com. Now, if you have a look at that website, there's a few headings there where you can have a look at my background, see where I'm coming from. You can look at the book itself, have a look at all the chapter headings, have a look at, I've previewed a few chapters there to give you an idea of a taste of what the book is about. There's some of my videos I mentioned there. I don't think they're all on that website. I'll probably have to add a few more, but there's probably 3 or 4 on the website just to get you in there, and then from there you can look at probably another half a dozen or so that I'm doing. So yes, I said the video links to my other videos or uploads. But look, on that website I've also put down some useful links. There's lots of good websites around on numeracy, how to help you with your maths. I mean, Khan's Academy is just one that comes to mind, it's just brilliant. There's other websites that help you with your literacy. There's other websites to do with bullying, if you're a victim of bullying and you need to try and work out how to get around it. There's help there in different websites, and also diet and nutrition, or even depression if you're feeling a bit down, what to do and where to go to. So I'll just stand aside, let you see the slide. So as I said, the name of the book is Mr D's Classroom Hints. The name of the website is Mr D's Classroom Hints, but the actual website address is www.thedickmans.com. So www.thedickmans.com. So I hope this has been of some help. If it has been of some help, hopefully I might see you in one of my other videos. But bye for now, and thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.